Alright, what is up guys? So first and foremost, I'd like to say that this is a re-upload video on my 100% Labyrinth with 5,800 plus units. So the reason why I took it down was because I realized that the first part of it was rather confusing, and I didn't state clearly the amount of units that I spent on each individual paths. So yeah, that is why I made this spreadsheet so that you guys can get a better picture on that. So I will quickly go through them before I show you guys again the tips that I have so that you guys can minimize the amount of units that you need to spend to get Labyrinth of Legends explored. So let's move on to the first path, that is path 3. So I had 5,700 plus units, and I bought a bundle which was called the Cornerstone Questing Bundle for 1,450 units. I got it last year, yeah. It was December last year, and this bundle came out, so I thought it was quite good. So yeah, I might as well get it done since I had a little bit of time to clear Labyrinth. So this was the shortest path, and then we move on downwards to the hardest path, and then I decided, you know what, I would try to get the hardest path cleared first and move down based on the difficulty. So yeah, you will see that the reason why I actually spent 1,844 units on path 2, which was kind of easy, was because I didn't spend time to grind potions in Realm of Legends. So that is why a lot of potions were bought on path 2, and yeah, grinding potions in Realm of Legends is really important if you want to minimize the amount of units that you will need to spend on Labyrinth. So during the run, you will see that all these actions were done. I opened up 900 uncollected free crystals, so that gave me a lot of level 2 potions and a few level 2 revives, so that is pretty good. And then I bought several potions here as well, so these are the units added up to a total of 5,874 units. And the reason why there was a spike up of units from path 4 to 5 was because of the Mystic Dispersion refund. So during that period I got about 1,000 units from it, so yeah, that explains the spike. And then after path 5 and 1, the Omega Raid and Emma Frost featured GMCs were out, so yeah, I bought 5 of them each. But yeah, that is basically it. These are the amount of units that I spent on each individual paths, and they are definitely not based on the difficulty on each path, because like I said, I grinded potions in the Realm of Legends before I take on each path, and the total amount of time that I spent to clear the remaining 6 paths this year was about a month. So yeah, that was quite a long while. So yeah, that was really a tiring experience, but I'm so glad it's over. So now I will leave you guys with some tips that I have so that you guys don't need to spend money on Odins to get Labyrinth of Legends cleared. Alright, what is up guys? So today I'll be going through my experience in the Labyrinth, and I'll talk about how I managed to explore using the least amount of units as I possibly can, since I'm sort of a free-to-play player. So first things first, I have spent a total of $23 on this game. I think the first deal I bought was the generic maxed out 3-star signature stone for $7. 5 of the Daywalker crystals for $15, and the Summoner's Choice crystal for $1. So yeah, I don't intend to actually spend on Odins to clear Labyrinth. So before I get into the 6 ways that I earned my resources, you have to first decide on who is your main attacker. So for me, since I've cleared Act 5, I've decided to rank 5 my stock enhanced Spidey, and till this day I have not regretted ranking him up. So he has cleared a ton of content for me, but he does requires more units per fight because you have to heal up above 50% to achieve more crit damage on your attacks. So yeah, that could be the downside of using stock enhanced instead of an awakened Starlord. As for my mastery, I'll quickly go through them. So first part is the utility tree, 1 point each on nimble and dexterity, 3 points on parry to reduce the damage, 3 points on stupefy to extend your stun, and 3 points on petrify as well to reduce the enemy's power gain for the duration of the stun so that I can get in more hits. before I start baiting out his SP1 or SP2. As for defense tree, we've got 1 point each on vitality and greater vitality before we maxed out our block proficiency to further reduce the damage for each block we take in. And for our offense, we have 1 point in despair, and since I'm only using blade for a few fights in the labyrinth, I'm not gonna max out my deep wounds. And then I went ahead and maxed out my assassins to gain greater attack when the enemy's health is below 18%. So we move on to the left side. Now we have 1 point in strength and maxed out our greater strength for more attack. Also maxed out courage for an additional 20% increase in attack when your champions are below 50% health. So this is really good for Starlord. You can just use a level 2 revive, and which will bring you to 40%, and you can just carry on with the fight. But for me, since I'm using Stun Hans, I'll use a level 2 revive followed by a few potions to push him up to 50% health so that he receives more crit damage. And courage is just there to act as a backup when, let's say, I made a mistake in that fight which pushed me down to below 50%. And then we move on to Pierce. So I maxed that out as well instead of adding that 2 points to lesser cruelty, because I don't know, I just feel that Pierce is just slightly better than lesser cruelty, but I didn't test both of them out, so I just went ahead with Pierce. So yeah, I then went ahead and maxed out lesser precision and precision, and as well as cruelty. So the last 3 points are meant for class cannons. So yeah, that is my mastery that I used for the labyrinth. I didn't make any changes to it midway. So here are the 6 ways that I actually earn resources to clear labyrinth. Alright, so the first ever questing bundle that I bought was this one. It was back in December 17th when it first came out, and I mainly just use it to clear the shortest path in the labyrinth, which is path 3. So I had time to play during that period, and I was like, why not? It was a pretty good offer, so I just bought it and went for it. This cost 1,450 units, and I'm hoping a similar or slightly better offer or bundle like this comes out again soon, so that the remaining players who haven't cleared the labyrinth are able to purchase the offer, and don't just limit to one, because I don't think it's enough. Maybe it's just enough for 1.5 path. I think there was actually a pretty good deal back then. It was before this questing bundle came out, and you can purchase for as many times as you want as long as you had the units. And I know that Brian Grant actually bought it, so at that period of time I wasn't free to actually purchase the offer and clear all 7 paths before they expire. So yeah, that is why I didn't purchase it back then, and it is what it is. So yeah, that is the first way that I got my resources, and I think there was some leftover resources which I used in my next run. So I guess the tip here is to wait for a good bundle to come out again and just get it. The second and easiest way to get some potions is via the uncollected free crystals that you can get every 4 hours just by claiming it. So after I cleared uncollected, I have saved slightly over 1,000 of them, and throughout my runs I actually just opened a stack of 500, 200 and 800 because I was lacking some potions. The overall potions that you can get from here is pretty good. You have a ton of level 2 potions, several level 1 and level 2 revives, and not that many level 3 potions as I would like. But yeah, that is it. So the third way that I got my resource was from the Summoner's Appreciation period. So there were a ton of potions and revives that you can get for free, cause it cost 0 energy to run them, and it ran for about a week or so. So that really allowed me to stack up my level 2 revives and some level 2 and level 3 potions as well. Other than that, the next 2 tips that I'm about to share are my 4th and 5th way of how to get resources. So basically, if you want more level 1 revives, you can get them in the solo 22-hour events. They are level up, arena wins and event questing, and there's also a level 2 team revives from the monthly calendar, so yeah, you can save that up as well. And to get the 10% or so-called lesser attack boost from solo events, just open up crystals when there's any class type of combat going on. What I will normally do is to open up the fully formed 3-star and premium hero crystals, because those rewards you more points, and that should be enough for you to reach the final milestone, which contains the boost. As for the 10% and 20% champion boost, you can get it in the Alliance Brawl in the Alliance event. Alright, the final way to cut down your total unit cost is by grinding level 3 potions in the Realm of Legends. And I brought in Archangel with the Mutant Synergy because on his critical hits, he has a 40% chance of inflicting bleed debuffs on Winter Soldier. So yeah, the reason why I actually brought in Archangel is because I like the fact that he is able to stun chain the opponent, and it's pretty simple. You can just parry, heavy attack to inflict bleeds, and getting block hits to inflict your poisons, and then firing off your SP1 to convert them into neurotoxins. So yeah, and for your info, the reason why it took me about a month or so to clear 6 paths was because for every path I would spend about 2 hours of grinding potions, and the process of it is definitely tiring and boring, but I took my time and did the grind whenever I'm free, and I would stop when I'm sick of it so I won't feel burned out by it, and you know, just resort to buying potions in the end. So I had about 8,000 units before I took on the hardest path, and I then decided to, you know, might as well finish the tougher fights first and then go in descending order of the difficulty. So yeah, you will see that after I'm done compiling all the fights, it will be path 7 first, followed by 6, 5, 4, 2 and 1. So yeah, that is pretty much it. I am not too sure about other champions like Domino and Ghost, whether or not are they quicker in comparison to Archangel in taking Winter Soldier down. So since I don't have the champions, I couldn't test them out myself. And keep in mind that I only have 1 point in Deep Wounds when I recorded the 2 Archangel fights that you are watching right now, and on average the 5-star version took about 90 seconds to get it done, and the 4-star version took about 2 minutes. Every fight does not guarantees you a potion, so in 1 hour of grinding it grants you about 25 level 3 potions plus a few level 3 team potions. So yeah, sometimes if you are lucky you'll get 2 potions, other times it will be just 1 of either, and if you're unlucky there will be none of each. So yeah, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Leave a like if it is helpful for your future planning in the Labyrinth, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Adios.